Welcome back to the 10 o'clock news with R&R Reviews. Just because it rhymes doesn't make it unimportant. Tonight, our top story. A man kicked a dog off a bridge today. He reportedly wanted to take revenge on a driver who caused him to wreck his motorcycle after throwing a taco at him. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You literally could not make that up. Hold on, breaking news we're getting in. Apparently, 2 police officers have passed away after jumping from the roof of a building. It seems that there wasn't even an awning in their direction. One of the police officers was quoted saying, "Aim for the bushes." In local news today, our small local gym, Average Joe's, won the Las Vegas dodgeball tournament. One member of the team, Steve the Pirate, was quoted saying, "Arg, matey." Leader of the opposing team, White Goodman, was quoted saying, "I hate Chuck Norris." Can we say that on the air? Okay. Also today, it turns out that our so-called advanced society is still failing women in the workplace, with sexual harassment going on for years at a time and no one being punished for the crimes at hand. It looks like our society is not so advanced. And lastly, today for R&R Reviews, we'll be reviewing the film Bombshell. You can check it out along with all of the other reviewing content on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Alrighty, folks. I'm Dave Templeton. Stay safe and quarantined out there. That's how the theaters crumble. Stay classy, San Diego.
Welcome to the Cinema Club. R&R Reviews.
As always, our review will be spoiler-free. So let's talk about Bombshell, the story of the Fox News harassment scandal. This film is based on facts, but with any factually based dramatization, there are always details added and details removed. The real-life women who went through this scandal can attest to this. Nevertheless, we realize that these changes are done for entertainment purposes. Now, with that disclaimer being said, let's jump into this. The story primarily follows 3 women. Megyn Kelly, played unrecognizably by Charlize Theron, Gretchen Carlson, played by Nicole Kidman, and Kayla Pospisil, a made-up character that was added, played by Margot Robbie. These women, in addition to many more, worked for Fox News under the direct management of Roger Ailes, played by a nearly unrecognizable John Lithgow. We were really confused due to John Lithgow being much taller and without his royal crown. All we hope is that he picks number 3, my lord. Roger was known... Who writes these jokes, Bob? For real. Who writes these jokes? Roger was known for making Fox News one of the most successful newscasts in history. Roger used this power to create a toxic work environment by sexually harassing women on a consistent basis, alluring to quid pro quos as leverage to give these women a chance at being an anchor on television. Countless women succumbed to immense harassment, and if they refused, they risked losing everything. And most of us know this story as it did happen right before our eyes. After being fired for no reason whatsoever, Gretchen Carlson files a sexual harassment lawsuit against Ailes. We watch as other women step forward and have their voices heard. We're sure you know the end, but in case you haven't kept up with the story, we'll leave it right there. This movie has a particular style to it. Much like the feel of a McKay or Soderbergh film, we have this complex story broken down in layman's terms, with plenty of fourth wall breaks. It has a way of telling itself so that even those with no prior knowledge can understand. They dumb it down for us. Go! We gave Bombshell a 6 out of 10 points. It is definitely worth your watch. It's entertaining while also exposing a flawed piece of our society. This film has a huge cast with cameos from tons of names. Following all of these stories at once doesn't offer us a lot of development, but it makes up for it with its unapologetic introduction of each character as the story goes on. You can hardly keep up with the amount of people passing through each scene, but what we couldn't miss was some of these standout performances, especially when it comes to Charlize Theron. She looks and sounds unrecognizable. From the mannerisms to the voice, she was truly riveting and always held your gaze. Some of her silences in the film have more talent in them than some actors have in their whole career. John Lithgow and Nicole Kidman also stood out for their disguised performances. Margot Robbie nearly brings us to tears. But what we really want to do is take a moment and recognize the most important crew members of this film, the hair and makeup department.
Wow.
This film doesn't really have any CGI effects, and most of the sets are indoor at the Fox News offices. This crew deserves some praise for making these actors look almost exactly like their real-life counterparts. They did what The Irishman failed to do while having top-of-the-line CGI and the highest budget ever, and they did it with practical effects. The overall tone is this fast-paced, dialogue-driven film that gives almost a lighthearted feel to these egregious acts. This is less of an artsy piece and more of a straight-to-the-point tell-all. There isn't a lot of glit and glamour to it, so much so that its score is unnoticeable. Seriously, we can't recall one moment of it. Nevertheless, we left thoroughly entertained and disgusted all at once. Bombshell is definitely one to see. Even if it doesn't draw you, it will certainly reveal how society is still failing women in the workplace. I mean, can't we all just agree that sexual harassment is wrong, and no one deserves to be made uncomfortable anywhere or anytime? We can only hope. Well, guys, that's all we have for today. So make sure you keep up that quarantine out there, and remember, it's always a beautiful day in the cinema hood.